This is Jed Disler, and welcome to the Piano Maven, your friendly podcast guide to piano recordings. And have I got an album for you? In fact, this is a release that you are likely not to know anything about because it features a pianist who is all but unknown. I remember very vividly when I received a copy of this disc for review, I guess around 25 years ago. It was on the Polish Dux label, and it featured Scriabin's first two piano sonatas, the Prokofiev Sonata No. 7 and two Rachmaninoff preludes. The performances were by a Polish pianist named Wojciech Kocyan, and I was totally gobsmacked by his fantastic workmanship and his superb musicality. For some time, this pianist has been based in California, where he has a private teaching studio in Marina del Rey, according to the internet. And, of course, we believe everything that's on the internet, right? Well, I think that's probably true. He also serves on the faculty of Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles. In fact, if you look at the link to his website that I've posted in this episode's program information, you will learn that Wojciech Kocyan has a long and impressive resume. The website also gives links to lots of excellent YouTube videos with this pianist. But this particular solo CD on the Dux label is really, really special. Kocyan gives flexible, full-bodied, and harmonically aware performances of Scriabin's first two piano sonatas. And you will notice that the second sonata's whirlwind final movement is quite interesting because he's one of the few pianists who brings out the bass lines. He brings them out to the fore. Most pianists just concentrate on the fast cascading right-hand runs and the left hand turns into a doormat. But not Wojciech Kocyan. And he plays the Rachmaninoff D major prelude from Opus 23 and the G sharp minor prelude from the Opus 32 really, really well. He plays them as well as Sviatoslav Richter or Vladimir Ashkenazy, I would say. But what's really, really distinctive is this pianist's Prokofiev 7th Sonata. He brings a lightness and whimsy to the first movement that evokes something of a cat and mouse game, where the rhythm, I guess, sometimes pushes forward and then sometimes it's held back. Yet these expressive gestures are not arbitrary. They sound as if they've been deliberately and meticulously gauged and timed. The central andante caloroso has an almost Chopinesque freedom to it. The melodic line just really soars and penetrates in a way that's very convincing. It totally differs from the steadier, more poker-faced restraint of Maurizio Pollini's classic recording, which is also wonderful in its way. It's hard to choose. I think both approaches to this movement are equally valid. Now, while a lot of young hotshot piano players take the concluding precipitato movement faster and faster with each passing year, yet saying less and less musically, Wojciech Kocyan manages to beat them at their own game. He has a very fast tempo, but he carefully voices the chords for maximum melodic impact, and he brings out much more textural interplay between the hands and much more contrast and dynamics than a lot of younger pianists. Pollini's recording is really quite wonderful too, but while Pollini grabs you by the lapel and maintains that grasp on your lapel, Kocyan, I think, lets you into the music more. I tend to overuse the phrase cumulative momentum when I write record reviews. Yet the way that Kocyan scales the music's dynamics and the way that he builds the energy steadily and gradually, I think, really defines cumulative momentum. This is a movement where way too many players lapse into banging and they always get too loud too soon. So consequently, the music's over before it begins, but not in Wojciech Kocyan's remarkable interpretation. Also, this CD is beautifully engineered. Now, for many collectors, the Maurizio Pollini Prokofiev 7th will still hold forth as a version of reference, and I understand why. And it is a brilliant performance, and you can't deny his staggering virtuosity and command of the writing. I would also put the recent Yuja Wang recording way up at the top of the Prokofiev 7th shortlist. She's lighter and more playful, and also the first Vladimir Ashkenazy recording, the one he made when he was really, really young for EMI. That's pretty amazing. Also, his first recording for Decca is quite wonderful. But, you know, as a reviewer and as the longtime radio host of the weekly radio show about piano music called Between the Keys, that's on the Classical Network and WWFM.org, I have long learned to be open to artistic excellence wherever I can find it, no matter how unlikely or obscure the source. Or should I say that I'm always open to artistic excellence from sources that live under the radar and off the beaten track. And the undeniable excellence of Wojciech Kocyan's Prokofiev 7th is really its own reward and its own justification. So are the Scriabin and Rachmaninoff tracks. This is an absolutely wonderful disc, and you can see a link to my review in the episode description. This is Jed Distler, and I thank you for checking out the Piano Maven podcast, your friendly guide to piano recordings, and I hope you will check out this recording by pianist Wojciech Kocyan. He's the real deal.